Hi everyone, welcome to FI rSeries learning. Let us continue with chapter 2, which is rSeries FIOS basic setup. FIOS is our host or platform layer in rSeries. In this chapter, we will be setting up the FI rSeries 2800. Alright, let us begin. This is R2800 front view. You can see one out of band management port, one serial console port, 4 copper ports, 4 fiber ports. Along with it, there are status LEDs and LCD panel. This is the rear view of R2800. On the rear view, you can see 2 power supply slots. When you purchase R2800, one power supply unit is included by default. To enable power supply redundancy, we have to purchase the additional power supply unit. In our case, we purchased the additional power supply unit. So, we connect the power cables on both the power supply. Hold on, there is a catch here. FI introduces power connector types based on the device model. The lower end models R2000, R4000 and R5000 uses C13 connectors. The higher end model R10000 and R12000 uses C15 connector. So the difference between C13 and C15 connectors are C13 connectors do not have notch, whereas C15 connectors have a notch. You could see it in the diagram. For our case, based on the hardware model, which is R2800, we need 2 C13 power connector. Assume we bought 2 C13 power cords and connected with both the power supply. Also, we are powering on the R2800 device. After the power on, we closely monitor the LED indicators for the system status. All seems to be good and we confirmed that the unit is powered on by checking the LCD panel. What is next? We need to access the FIOS platform layer, correct? To do this, first let us connect the management port to our management network switch. Once you connect the management port to the management network switch, make sure the link status is up. In our case, the link status came up. We are good so far. Then we need to configure the management IP, subnet mask and gateway. As per the diagram, this FI rSeries 2800 is connected to port of the management network 10.10.5.0/24. We are using LCD panel to configure the management IP address as 10.10.5.15 and the subnet mask is /24. and the default gateway is 10.10.5.1. Once the configuration is complete, we have to apply the changes in the LCD panel. Once the changes applied, we have to verify the management IP address is reachable from the local area network. We are testing this using ping. As per the ping result, it is reachable. We are good to access the rSeries host layer using WebUI. Important point to note here. rSeries model follows API-driven architecture. You can access the rSeries platform layer using CLI, WebUI and REST API. We are going to access the rSeries using WebUI. In order to access this, open your browser and then type https our management IP address, which is 10.10.5.15. So it will open the rSeries like this. Type the default credential to login, which is admin as username, admin as password. Immediately it will prompt you to change the password. Typing the current password once and new password twice will allow you to change the password. Once you set up the new password, you should be able to log in to rSeries using your new password. You will see this dashboard once you logged into the rSeries. Let us do the basic setup for rSeries platform now. Part of this basic setup, we will configure the host name, NTP, DNS and activate the license. rSeries basic setup. Setting up the host name. Under system settings, locate general. When you click general, under the host name, type the host name which you wish to configure. Once you type host name, save the changes. When you save the changes, you will get alert that updating host name will terminate your current session and the system will restart. This restart only affect the management plan of the FIOS host. Click OK to proceed. The management plan restart and log out your current session. Also, you will get prompt you to log in again. Once you logged in, you see the new host name appear as web page title. We set it up the host name successfully. rSeries basic setup. Setting up the DNS. Under the system settings, go to DNS. Click DNS. Once you clicked the DNS, under the DNS lookup servers, click add to type your DNS server IP addresses. Once you typed all the DNS IP addresses, click save and close to save the changes. Also, under the DNS search domains, click add to type your domain names. Once you add the domain name, Click Save and Close to save the changes. We are done with setting up the DNS. rSeries basic setup. Set up the NTP. Under the system settings, go to time settings and click the time settings. Under the time settings, you have to enable the NTP service. Once you enable the NTP service, click Save to save the changes. Also, under the NTP servers, click Add to type NTP servers. Once you have added all the NTP servers, click Save and Close to save the changes. Under the time zone, set up the correct time zone as per your country. For example, if you are living in UAE, select type Asia Dubai as the time zone. Once you're done with these settings, click Save to save the changes. We are done with setting up NTP. We have configured the host name, DNS and NTP. Now we have to test whether the DNS and NTP are working correctly. In order to test this, we have to log into the CLI. There are two types of CLI access. If we use root, we will log into the privileged Linux cell. If we use admin, we will log into the restricted FIOS cell. When we use root, we will use Linux commands to verify the system settings. FI don't recommend to use root login. FI always recommend to use FIOS login. FIOS login is restricted and role based. Assume we log in as root. It means we landed in privileged Linux cell. Here we will use Linux commands to verify the DNS and NTP settings. To verify the DNS, we will use dig hostname. For example, dig google.ae. To verify the NTP, we will use time date ctl space status. These two commands help us to check the status of DNS and NTP in Linux cell. Assume we logged in as admin. It means we landed into FIOS cell. FIOS is restricted and role-based access control cell. Here you can run FIOS commands to check the system configuration. To check the NTP configuration, we will run so system NTP. To check the DNS configuration, we will run so system DNS. Alright, we want to test the DNS resolution on FIOS cell. How to test this? We have diagnostic command in FIOS. The diagnostic command is system diagnostic net-utils cell space dig the host name. For example, dig google.ae. This will help us to resolve the name resolution in FIOS. Alright, there are access limitation in rSeries. From root cell, you cannot access the FIOS CLI. Also, from the FIOS CLI, you cannot access the root Linux shell. So the access is restricted for security reason. Next, rSeries basic setup. Activating the license. In order to activate the license, navigate to System Settings and click Licensing. Then go to Base Registration Key and click Activate. It opens another page where you can enter the base registration key and add-on keys. Once you have entered all the required information, click Activate. As long as DNS is configured correctly and the management IP can connect to the FI license activation server over TCP port 443, the license will be activated successfully. The primary domain used for the license activation is activate.fi.com. Our FI rSeries host reaching FI activation server successfully and activating the license. Upon a successful activation, confirmation message will appear like this. After this, you can view all the activated license in the rSeries. Similar to the iSeries, rSeries tenants inherits their licenses from the FIOS host. We are done with the FIOS license activation. Another rSeries basic setup. How to change the user password. In order to change the user password, go to Authentication and Access and locate Users and Roles. Once you locate the users and roles, click that. Once you click, you will see couple of user accounts. Click the account which you want to change the password. In our case, we are going to change admin account password. Once the admin user page opened as edit user, locate and click change. So this will give you the option to change the password. Here you have to type the current password once, new password once and confirm new password once. Then click save and close. When you click save and close, it will prompt that are you sure you want to update the user admin? Click OK for that. When you click OK, it will tell that the password successfully updated. Then the system will log you out and redirect you to the login page again. Here you can log in admin account with your new password. We changed the admin account password successfully. Awesome. So far we have done the rSeries FIOS basic setup. Part of this video, we configured the host name, DNS, NTP and activate the license. Also, we saw how to change the user password. Great. We are done with FIOS rSeries basic setup. Please continue watching my next video, which is rSeries FIOS upgrade. Thank you.